night. How we doing, y'all? I know it's a school night. I'm sure someone's gonna say that. And they're right, but not for me anymore. Not for me. I got a new job at work, so. Fishing Triggers, Braden, Ben, Next Gen. What are you doing awake, bud? Austin. Oh, I'm sideways? Dang it. I thought we had it worked out, but apparently we don't. There. Let's fix this. Mark. Ruben. How we doing, fellas? Ruger Trapper's Ed, buddy. We had a good turnout. We had a really good turnout. 34 kids, not even kids, 34 people signed up and took the class. So I was very happy with that number. Oh, a lot of got mixed up on there. I don't know. I know, Mr. Somebody. It's driving me crazy. We'll play in the dark. Yeah, Ben, our teal season opens this Thursday, I believe it is. Be some pretty good dove hunting this weekend, I think. It's actually going to start cooling down a little bit, so. Yeah, Ruger, I think it went well. Little mix-up on the... So what we did, we all got together at the beginning of the class. The DNR talked about rules, regulations briefly. The major ones, trap tags and laws from houses and ethics and whatnot. Then we ate lunch, and then we broke up into 4 groups. And these 4 groups went to the 4 stations that we had. And when they're done, everyone's supposed to rotate. Well, one group stayed at the station for 2 sessions. Kind of got mixed up the last go around, but that's all right. It was our first time. First time doing it, so I think it went well. I was happy with it. Colt, how we doing, bud? Your dove opens Thursday, and teal opens the 10th in Kansas. I'm not sure when Iowa teal season opens. Probably very similar to that. We have a teal season early. It's in September. I've never done that one just because I'm not good enough of a duck hunter. I can distinguish teal, I guess, pretty easily, but if someone, early in the morning, first light, I couldn't tell you the difference between, wood ducks and widgeons or anything like that. So I figure I just wait till everything's in season. Really, Next Gen? I'm jealous, buddy. I wish I could go with you. Getting by Fishing Triggers. Gonna work out in the shop here a little bit. A lot tomorrow and Tuesday, since I got a new work schedule now. Starting tomorrow, I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays off for my schedule. So I'll have 2 days off during the week to actually get stuff done, and that's going to be huge for me. Hey, Todd, how we doing, bud? I see you're all gearing up, man. You're giving me motivation. Oh, there you go, Mr. Somebody. Yep, walnut holes. I know a lot of guys that like that. Kind of and don't take this wrong way, but the older method, but real traditional and really well method, too. It works really good. Oh, yeah, Ruger, we just got a dove season. Shoot, Next Gen. I don't even know if you remember it. Us not having one because you're pretty young yet. I would say we probably got a dove season around 2015. Somewhere around that. It hasn't been too long. Giga Chad, what's up? Chemistry, bud? No, I'd have to have you sign a waiver that says if you blow up, it's not my fault, buddy. Hey, Dredger, long time no see, man. Oh, it's gonna be quite the season, guys. So I've been playing around with the idea. There's a contest from me about it's probably a little over 2 hours away. Delta Waterfowl has a predator hunt trap challenge off a point system. So much points for a possum, a skunk, coon, bobcat, coyote, basically to clear out their nest raiders. And they got some pretty good money involved. It's like $80 entry fee. But I want to say I don't even know what it was. He just added another $1,000 to the pot, top 3 payout, and I'm kind of half tempted to do that. It's a 4-man crew or up to 4-man group, but I trap by myself, so it'd just be me. But I'm really thinking I might try this. Oh no, Dredger, that sucks, buddy. That sucks, my man. Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Moody. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of those older ways, that people done stuff, people forget about them, and there's a reason people did them for 100 years because they worked well. Uh, but see, there's so many people think you got to have the best of the best or change it up, and you got to do something different every time. I know still a lot of guys use logwood dye, and that was kind of what I would consider right after the walnut holes kind of era. I guess the walnut holes were probably the original how people dyed them, and then someone came up with logwood dye. I know a lot of people still do that too, and nothing wrong with it. But you see so many things coming out now of how to dye traps, this and that, and people jump on them. You think you gotta have this or do that, and there are some good ones, and then there's some junk ones too. So yeah, Dredger, I'm really thinking about it. We'll see. Hey, Blakely's, how we doing? Or not? He left. What happened, bud? We'll talk next gen. We'll talk. Uh, I want to at least give them a chance to compete. Um, the way you run your line, heck, you could probably do it by yourself and win the dang thing. Hey, Flintlock, how we doing, bud? Hey, there's Blakely. Mostly walnuts. Yeah, that's something I've never done. I've never actually done that. My first dipping of any traps was um, speed dip with gas. Uh, I did not like that. I did that for probably 4 or 5 years. Then I went to Dakota Lines dip, and I won't lie, I thought that was kind of the cat's meow for a while until I found Formula One, and now I really like that. I just prefer a water-based dip and something I can do quick. That's pretty much my only preference. Oh, all right, Blakely's. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Good luck with that water heater. Be careful. That's awesome, Dredger. Oh, that's funny. There you go, Mark. All set up, ready to go, bud. Yeah, Ruben. And when I first got it, I didn't know any better. I thought this is what it's supposed to look like, and I started learning a little bit better. Like when I'd buy a few traps or see traps at conventions, like how'd they get them that like dark, deep brown or light black, like like a deep color, and you guys know what I mean. Like you could tell it took to it. It's not sitting on top of it, like it's in the middle. There you go, David. There you go, bud. I've never waxed a trap before in my life, surprisingly. Uh, but then again, I'm not really a coyote trapper. Um, if I was a bigger coyote trapper, I probably definitely would. Uh, but everyone has their own system, what works for them, and I'd never try to change anybody from what they're doing. Yeah, Dredger, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Yeah, Patrick. I believe even with like logwood dye and walnuts, you still want a little rust on it, don't you guys? Oh yeah, Ruger. I'm hoping for 10 this year, to be honest with you. Last year was a total flop, total embarrassment, to be honest with you, and I'll own it. Uh, I tried something new. I kind of took a gamble, and you know, I lost. Lesson learned, though. And I'll tell you what, I've learned more from losing uh, in these experiments than I have by having successful ones. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Somebody. Yeah, what? And that's the thing. Like, honestly, that stuff, logwood and walnut holes, from what I've seen, are probably the most durable coloring you can put on them. Just for me, it just takes a little bit, and I just don't have the time. See, and that's what's crazy, Flintlock. And I'm not trying to tell you differently by any means. I see some people that scent is everything. I see some people that say scent is nothing. Um, and I won't say either's right or wrong, but I will say I think it does vary across the country, in my opinion. Blaine Davis, how we doing? Oh, cool, Ben. Really? I did not know that, David. Thank you. Oh yeah, Dredger. Matter of fact, I just picked up a couple more dozen 220s um, from a guy that was getting out of trapping altogether. Uh, Picked up a couple of them for pretty cheap. I couldn't say no. Joel, we got a pretty fair mink population. This skunk is just, she's awake. But yeah, we got a pretty fair mink population. Not great, but it's doing well. Midwest Trapper, how we doing? Oh, Vet, get out of here with that. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, bud. Yeah, Flintlock, and that's the thing. Like, I hate it. The thing I hate, not just about trappers, but our society anymore. If you're not doing it this way, you're wrong. Whatever works for me is going to work for you. You're doing it wrong. And I don't like that. I do not like that. If any of you did see my demo at the NTA, which Internet Vet's bragging me about, like I told them, this is what I use for bait, but if you have something, use what you have success with. I'm never going to tell somebody you have to use this or you have to do it this way, because it might not work for you there. It might be something completely different. It's just so many people get stuck on that. You have to do it this way, and that's the only right way, and it's frustrating. Exactly, David. Exactly. Watching the Mater, Mater, without the Dredger, buy me a shirt. Oh yeah, Mr. Somebody, 100%. I learned so much on, like, even this skunk that we got just as a pet. You could just learn so much by watching her, how she reacts to things. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, exactly. No joke. At the convention, um, this young lady, she just had a birthday. I wish I knew how old she was. 12, I think. Charlie, if you're watching, she makes her own raccoon lure. And I talked to her for probably 10, 15 minutes, and I'll tell you what, this young lady knew way more about bait lure making than I will probably ever know. And it was pretty amazing. Like, especially for her age, I was just blown away. Like, wow. I really, really humbled right now. Very humbled, because she's going to go places. Squirrel Squirrely, how we doing, buddy? Good to see you in here. Walnuts and black oat. Yeah, there you go, Kenneth. Absolutely. Hey, Dale's in here. Dale, you're probably getting stuff ready, aren't you, buddy? Oh, I'll bet, Lane. I'll bet. There's no substitute for being there. We held that trappers class this weekend, that beginners class. We had a guy drive from Kansas all the way down to, where would Knoxville technically be? South Central Iowa, probably. Drove from Kansas, and he said he learned more in that 6 hours at our class than he did in 50 hours on YouTube. Which, and honestly, I'd agree with. I do YouTube, and I hope I can help people learn stuff, but there's nothing like being out there and actually on the line, asking questions, things like that. Yeah, Flintlock, there is very possible, very possible. Jinx, how we doing, bud? Jeep fans in here. I seen you went live the other day. I got on there and it was already done. Yeah, David, that's the thing. Like, I mean, if you think about it, I wouldn't say I was a big duck hunter, but I duck hunted quite a bit. And, I went out first couple years and I, researched everything. I got the camo to match the surroundings I was at. If we had willow trees, I had the camo to match it. Spent quite a bit of money on this stuff. And we went with one of my dad's buddies to his locations. And he's in blue jeans and a brown Carhartt coat. And we had ducks coming around us just like anywhere else. And it's like, huh. Kind of makes you think, like, I'm not saying it's not necessary and, you shouldn't camouflage or anything, but I think a lot of things are overhyped up. It's not as complicated as we make it think, all of us. Ben, just west of Kansas City somewhere. Creel, how we doing, buddy? Yeah, Ruger. And that could be sent very easily. Could be a couple things. Deer Slayer's in here. Cam's Outdoors. What's up? Oh, is that what it was, Jeep fam? Did you end pretty soon? That helps Kansas. No, it was pretty cool. I actually got, and this made me feel really good. The guy was in there and he's asking a bunch of questions as him and his son, and he's talking about how he doesn't get a lot of time to go out with his son. So like, I don't know what it was, a 5-hour drive or something like that. And he said just the time alone was worth it with his boy. But he was getting ready to leave. He's actually walking across the parking lot. And I ran out there before they got in their car. And I shook his hand. And I said, hey, man, I didn't get a chance to talk to you too much, but thanks for coming. And he said, you know what? This was awesome. And just the fact that you would come out here just to talk to me and tell me thank you, it shows me what you Iowa boys are all about. And I don't know. It made me feel good. It really made me feel good hearing him say that. Yeah, Patrick, I haven't seen Dale's coyote one yet. I've been pretty swamped. Hey, thanks, Jinx. Yeah, that's the Midwest Trapper. When I was a bow hunter, I just played the wind because, in my opinion, I could coat myself in scent control stuff, and I'm still gonna sweat and stuff throughout the evening. Yeah, Ruger, right? Exactly. Experience, luck. Outdoor Mike, how we doing? Yeah, Ben. Yeah. Just starting out, you might be true on that. You know what, Next Gen? You may give me crap for being old and fat, but I ain't scared of you. Next video we're gonna do, you're gonna have a video of me and Next Gen wrestling. I'm going to need 10 minutes to stretch first, but we'll do this. Bill, how are we doing, buddy? Good to have you in here. It's good to hear from you, buddy. I meant to text you the other day. I was thinking about something I meant to. What was it? I was going to text you about something, but I can't remember what it was. Awesome, Mike. Awesome. Congratulations, Mike. 900 subs today. That's awesome, buddy. Yeah, Midwestern. Yeah, you're right, buddy. No, David. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out this year. I'm gonna shoot for a record. You know, I'm gonna try and break my personal record of 1,082. But right as soon as season hits, it's just gonna be me and my daughter. My wife and boy are actually leaving the country, so I don't know if that's gonna be better or worse. Because then, you know, I've got the responsibilities of getting her to school, getting her home from school. Which, you know, I'm inside every evening from 5 to 9 anyway, but might put a little damper on things, but then again, once she goes to bed, I can actually get some stuff done too, so we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely going to hit it hard. Yeah, I will, Bill. I will. How have you been, buddy? You know, I'm going to talk about Bill a little bit here. A lot of you guys don't know this, but that whole Funky Trap Tags doing the kids thing at the National Trapper Convention, that was actually kind of started by Bill here. He generously donated a lot of money to Alan to give to me to give kids traps. Very, very generous donation. And I'm still very thankful for that, sir. So the trapping community thanks you. And once you did that, you know, it kind of opened our eyes. And really, that's what opened my eyes into we need to get the youth involved. And that's pretty much what inspired me to start holding these classes and doing everything that I'm doing now. So thank you, Bill. I appreciate you you opening my eyes to how important this is. I'll bet they are, Dredger. I've never tried that, but I'd love to. Ruger won't be prime because I'll catch it on opening day. Mr. Somebody, I'm gonna play around with some of that stuff too. Like I said, I learned a lot for my coyotes last year. Weasel I won't hit until late season. Beaver will be spring. I do plan to hit more mink in the fall, but right now we are so dry. All our I don't know if I've ever seen my country this dry as it is right now. That's going to play a huge effect on the water line. Of course, and I'm planning on actually setting a water line somewhat, so. Yeah, beaver prices are looking all right. Jesse, how we doing, buddy? We're getting by here, man. Yeah, Outdoor Mike, and that's, you know, I started my channel to help promote it, but it wasn't until when he donated all that, it made me realize the importance of it and how many kids and people we can reach if we really push it. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, Mr. Somebody, if we can find water, the problem is I don't have any water under these roads. Ben Caster, I'm not sure yet. I gotta talk to my buyer because he's gonna be coming down here to pick up some beaver here before too long. But last I knew, it was holding firm. I would say 80 wouldn't be out of line by any means. Creel, you want a beaver tail? You want it flushed out, dried, tanned? Where are you talking, buddy? But I can make it happen one way or another. Yeah, Mark, we're inches behind right now. Inches behind. Yeah, Bryson, it's tough, man, and that's the thing. You've got to love doing this right now. Prices are rough. You know, at the very least, I encourage you to go out around the house or something, and just set a few and have fun with it. Uncle Bucks, how we doing, buddy? Everything outdoors? Man, we got a lot of people in here tonight. Creel, message me, Iowa Trapper 2 at Gmail. I'll see what I can do. There was somebody here that used to, in Iowa, that used to tan, well, it's leather, but like the scales, like reptile type stuff, called Specialty Leathers. They went out of business, and I don't know of anyone locally that does that, but I'll definitely reach out. I can try and get you one somewhere, buddy. Mike, and if you stuck around when those kids came up to me afterwards, I cleaned out of the 6 that I brought with me. I think I went back to the booth with 1, which is fine. I was planning on handing them out just as I talked, but I didn't even think about it. Kind of got sidetracked to my zone of talking, and nope, I never have been. Could possibly use some feathers as long as they're down in a hole, because we can't do exposed bait, which is any meat or feathers or anything off of an animal exposed. Oh, Jesse, we're terrible. I mean, we are just terrible. All these bridges I drive under. If I had a creek that was knee deep water a normal year, bone dry right now, bone dry. The only creeks that have water in them are the ones that were 5-6 foot of water, and I could walk across them in gum boots right now. It's pretty crazy. Beaver tail sounds. Man, the skunk makes a mess. All right, Mike. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. You take care of yourself, and hopefully that's a good dinner for you. Tina, how we doing? Oh, Dale, does he do that? I did not know that. I did not know he did the scales and leather type stuff. That's good to know, Dale. That's good to know. I did not know that stuff. Yeah, Patrick, we are allowed in bucket sets. You just gotta be real careful about how you do it. I appreciate that, I really do. Um, we've got to do it, guys, and I'm starting to see not just trappers, but organizations are starting to see the importance of this. Um, you know, like just the Iowa Trapper Association, they're holding 5 or 6 of these classes that I did yesterday. 5 or 6 throughout the year. Other states are hosting trapper education classes. There's several people going out, going out just doing kids things. Oh shoot! If I wasn't using my phone for this, there's one in West Virginia, I believe it is. They're talking about. Linda just had one, a trapping kid class. Sarah does a couple trapping classes for kids. People are starting to see the importance of this, and that is huge to me. That makes me happy, because when I first started doing this, the only reason I got to where I'm at is because when I want to do something, I do it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there was no one that's going to tear me down enough that I'd quit doing it. But that's what I faced. When I first started learning to do this in the early 2000s, even late 90s probably, there was nobody willing to really share and help. There might be a few things, give little tips here and there, but there's way more people that are like, absolutely not. I'm not helping this kid out. No way. And I'm so glad that we're starting to turn that tide. And even if these people that we're teaching don't become trappers, they're educated on the importance of why we're doing this, of why we're trapping. At the deal yesterday, we weren't just teaching a class to kids or people that were just sitting there like, okay. I've got from 7-year-olds to 45-year-old guys asking me questions about it. Like, hey, why'd you, I was doing the skinning demo. They're like, why would you cut there? Okay, like when I was skinning through the front legs of a coon, as you guys know, that fur goes up into the chest a lot more. So when you're pulling, you think it's, fat or meat here, but no, that fur goes way up those front legs. Getting those front legs free is hard. And just things like that. They're asking questions and they're involved, and that is awesome. I love that. Sorry, got behind here. Dan, how are we doing? Craig, Ben's back. Oh, absolutely, Dan. You got to find that drive, buddy. Find that drive. Yep, that's awesome, Bill. That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that, Creel. We appreciate your support. I love that, So, kind of what got me into the fishing community was Reef Robber. Getting on Earl's Lives and meeting some of you guys, the fishing community, and, having us kind of intermesh together just as outdoors men and women. And that's awesome. The more outdoor groups and organizations we can get to support each other, the better off we're going to be. And that's what bothers me a lot. So I reached out when I was advertising for that trappers class that we just had yesterday. I reached out to several other organizations. One in particular kind of bothered, it quite frankly pissed me off. I reached out to the Pheasants Forever, a couple chapters in Iowa, and I said, hey, would you mind sharing this flyer on your guys' page? These nest robbers, us trappers are helping to give you more birds by, taking out the nest raiders, the skunks, the possums, the raccoons, and I'd really be thankful if you'd share this and maybe we can get some more people involved and start bringing your bird populations up. And a couple of them, all they sent me was laughing emojis. And it's like, really, guys? We're on the same page here. It's so frustrating. Shut up. What do you want me to look up? What are you looking up? Yeah, Dan. Oh, yeah, for sure. Tastes like chicken. Yeah, Creel. There's no shortage of feral cats here in Iowa too, but definitely not a fur animal by any means. But yeah, I'm pretty lucky to live where I do. There's so many fur-bearing animals here. I didn't even realize it, but like if you notice, my wall behind me is now empty. I haven't redone the wall of pride yet, but I took all my furs and lined them up because I figure some of these kids, they've never seen traps before, but they've never seen the animals up close. They've never felt the fur of a fox or mink or anything else. So I took one of everything I had. Luckily, Craig Sweet, the Iowa Trapper Association president, showed up with the 2 furs that I don't have here in Iowa. But you displayed them all out across the table, and it's like, I can't remember what it was, 13 or 14 furs that Iowa has to harvest. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. Wayne only did it once. Yeah. Feral cats are really hard on like our native birds and our, well, yeah, I mean, any ground nesting bird at all. They're terrible. Tacos. Yep. I've noticed that, Dale. And it's too bad. Because I'll tell you what, and this is just my opinion, but trapping benefits your pheasant, your quail, your turkeys, any bird population, they impact the population more so than, more habitat, in my opinion. Because, if you got 200 acres of CRP and you put in another 100 acres, yeah, that 100 acres more is going to benefit them. But if you have a trapper come through that area and harvest the cream of the crop or a good portion of them, I think that is going to do more positive effect than adding more CRP. Just my opinion, but was it? I think we talked about this last time, Dale. Or maybe it was a guy at work I was talking to, but it was Missouri that did a survey. They tagged like 20 turkeys in Missouri, of which those 20, I think 14 of them got bred and had success and had nests. Of those 14, I think all 14 nests got raided. 4 of the hens got killed on the nest. So of the 10 hens left, 4 of them re-nested. 3 of those 4 nests got raided. 1 nest hatched, and the next day, all the chicks had been ate. So there was no successful upbringing of those chicks. Don't quote me on those exact numbers, but I do know at the end of it, out of 20 hens, and several of them tried having 2 nests, not one chick made it past day 2. Pretty substantial. I mean, that is just crazy. Yeah, Wayne, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Ruben. That's too bad. Yeah, I'll bet, Jinx. I'll bet they do. I'll bet they do. Internet vet, that was my opinion. I reached out to them in a very professional manner and, talking to them about what trappers do and what we do. And that was the only response I got. And yeah, it just showed me, okay, I'm barking up the wrong tree. And that's why I'm so glad with Delta. Delta Waterfowl, they're the ones that sponsored the event I did yesterday. Every person that attended this class got 2 dog proof traps, a Duke 1.5, and a Duke number 2. So every person got 4 traps, 34 people. What is that? 136 traps given away. That Delta, just this chapter, or is it west of there? I can't think of the name of the chapter, but yeah, they did that. They bought all the traps from Allen. And that's awesome. I'm glad we got their support. Oh yeah, Flintlock, exactly. Creel, okay. Yeah, Bryson, I get it, man. I get it. Oh yeah, I'll bet, Dan. I'll bet they do. Yeah, Dale. You're right. It helps, but it's like that's kind of like me giving a poor person a quarter. It's just too bad. Bill, that's a very good point. We were just talking about that yesterday at the class with the DNR. They talked when the fur prices were up, our wild game population went up, and as that declined, everything else declined, and they follow each other throughout the seasons or throughout the decades. What are you doing, Gus? Gus. I don't know. Oh, I'll bet it is, Patrick. I'll guarantee you it is. I guarantee it. Yeah, Flintlock, I'd agree with you, but there's still good people there, I'm sure, somewhere. Man, that's crazy, Dale. That's crazy. Patrick's in Cali. Don't feel bad, buddy. I know a kid doesn't live too far from me. Another buddy of mine's getting him into trapping last couple years, and he came from Cali. So, matter of fact, that's his nickname, Cali. And he's a city kid, but he's learning. He's willing to learn, so that's awesome. Ruger, I will be using either the Duke 550s or the Bridger number 2s, dogless. Those have kind of been my coyote traps of choice if I'm on private ground. Otherwise, which I don't know if I'm going to get on private ground or not. Probably can't until after January 10. But I'll be snaring hopefully 8 or 10 of them in the road ditches. Oh, cool, Ruben. I'm glad you see him out there. 5-0 Trapper. I like that name. Ours starts November 5th. Matter of fact, I started working out my work schedule for the time I'm going to take off the other day. Actually, today at work. I had kind of a down 20-25 minutes, so started working out my work schedule and figuring out what I'm going to take off. Used to be full of pheasants when your dad was young. Yeah, Greg, exactly. That's what got me started in outdoors. My dad took me pheasant hunting for the first time when I was 6, 7. And I'll never forget the exact field we were at, opening day, sitting there on the back of the truck, tailgate down, and we had a Brittany and an English pointer, and he was literally waiting to open the dog box for 8 o'clock, waiting for the time. And we went out in like 20 minutes, and he killed 3, and we're done. That was it. It was that quick. Our populations are way different than they were back then in 94, 95. But, no one's trapping, so. Mark, in Iowa, you have to have your name and home address. You cannot put your permit number. Matter of fact, I think the Iowa Trap Association's trying to open the code up to just put our DNR number on this, strictly for the reason that Joe Blow can't see a trap and get all pissed off and go down there and find my address. And there are some people that still voluntarily put their phone on there. I would never put my phone number on those traps. It's a lot easier to cuss somebody out if you're frustrated over the phone versus come confront them themselves. So I would never do that myself. But, if somebody wants to, more power to them. Man, Patrick, that sucks. If you want to get rid of them, buddy, let me know. 5-0, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm hoping we're gonna break 100 coon opening day. That's kind of my goal this year. I've done it twice so far, but never on camera. So we're gonna get them this year, I hope. Yeah, Jesse, they are. But I think one of our biggest problems is, like, even raccoon are hard on pheasants, but the nest robbing is just what's killing Iowa, in my opinion. Jesse, you're lucky. I wish we could. Really, Ruben, that's awesome. Yeah, Flintlock, I agree with you 100%. I'm just following the rules that I'm supposed to do. It's frustrating. We're trying to change it. Yeah, Dan, I wish. Hey, Mills, how are you feeling after Jay's live? I gotta ask, buddy. Thank you, by the way. I hope you're feeling all right. I seem like Jay was pretty. There's a lot of slurring at the end of that live. All right, Dale. I'm gonna text you tomorrow. I got a couple of things to run past you. So you take care, buddy. Have a good night, man. Patrick, I don't blame you a bit, buddy. I don't blame you a bit. I was just giving you crap. Next gen, you'll hit it, buddy. I don't see a problem why you wouldn't hit it. Hell, you can run circles around me. Now, if I was your age and knew what I know, I'd give you a pretty good run for your money, bud. Man, everybody just has to use their conservation number. We're the only ones that have to put their address. Mills, I don't know. Yeah, Ruger, 7-foot sweet corn. He swears up and down it is. I gotta send him some skunk essence tomorrow too. So. Yeah. Oh, cool, Patrick. Next gen, he's a good kid. I flip him a lot of crap, and I roast him quite a bit on here, but he's a really good kid, good head on his shoulders, and really, not to sound all cheesy, but really reminds me of myself when I really started getting passionate about trapping, and it's kind of cool watching, him soak in everything as he's learning. I agree. I agree, Vet. Thank you. Um, it is. We've got to get all these organizations together. Uh, and I think our biggest problem right now is trappers. We're the smallest number, and we're getting attacked first. Yeah, there's antis attacking deer hunters and turkey and every type of outdoor harvesting of anything. But trappers are so small, we are targeted first in almost every case. And nobody wants to stick their neck out for us. And I don't want to say I get it. I mean, I understand being concerned, but damn it, we're all in this together. You've got to start standing up, because guess what? Once they take us out, Pheasants Forever, people like they're next. They're going to come after you guys too. They're kind of using us to kind of build up their endurance to come after you guys. So it's just frustrating. It is. It really is. Gary, how we doing? Blakely's, you get that water heater done already? Oh, Bill, 100%. If you got all of us together, fishermen, every outdoor, from the Turkey Federation, Ducks Unlimited, Pheasants Forever, Whitetails Unlimited. If there's, I don't know of any, but like Elk or Moose Federation, whatever it is, all of us together as one, oh, they couldn't touch us. But unfortunately, we're all divided. And that's just frustrating. Yeah, Mark, exactly. That's how it goes. Once no one wants to help us out, but if I feel like if trappers don't stop the anti-movement, then it's going to snowball and take out everybody. How far into your house do you let an intruder get? You better stop them at the door, and us trappers are at the door right now. So if they get past us, they're inside the outdoor community, and that's not good. Right, Dan? Exactly. Trap Squash, what's up, buddy? I was just looking at your shirt the other day. So, Flintlock, and here's what I want to share tonight about this. One thing very important. If any of you run into somebody, whatever outdoor activity you're doing, and they are telling you how terrible it is, how wrong you are, it's very easy to get heated. It's very easy to get pissed off. I know, I've been there. But recently I've done really good about, it's just like trap theft, okay? You've got to understand this has been pushed into their brain, and it's all they know. So you can't be mad at them when it's all that they know. all we can do is try to educate them, try to share with them the facts, the real what's happening. So you get this city person that's sitting in his, big city apartment, and all he's seeing is these, animal cruelty movies or shows, the Humane Society commercials, all these things about how cruel the world is. And that's all he knows, because he doesn't see our side, because we're not advertising, we're not promoting. I hate to say it, and I'm not bashing any one group, but we need to be spending funds, get out there and start showing the world what we're really doing. And that is huge, because when that person only sees one side, that's all they know. Here's a good example. How many people in here are scared of bees that have never been stung? You've never been stung, you've never experienced it, but you see other people, you've been told that bees will sting and it hurts, and you've instilled that in your brain. And yeah, it does hurt, but you've never experienced it, you've never been there, but that's the only side you know. So you're told to. Most time bees are going to leave you alone, but as soon as you see one flying, or, oh gosh, oh no, it's not going to mess with you unless you mess with it. But we've been kind of brainwashed to be said, be scared of these things. A lot of these antis are people that are just brainwashed to hate us. All we can do is educate them. Getting mad and pissed off isn't going to do anything. I'm sorry, but it's not. You're right, Vet. 100% right. 100% right. Sorry, I got on a rant again. Oh, that sucks, Blakely's. Got to go to work in 15 minutes now? Yep, exactly, Ruger. It's terrible. Yeah, Colin, that's a very, very touchy subject. Some people, I won't say not take pictures in traps, but you got to be careful how you present them in a way, in my opinion. Wayne's a hobby beekeeper. I get it, Dan. I get it. Yeah, sorry I missed somebody. I apologize, guys. I kind of got on a spell there. My fault. Just something I'm very passionate about. Between the dealing with antis and education, we've got a lot to learn as outdoorsmen and women of how to handle it, but we've also got to start forcing ourselves to handle it. So that's all I'll say. Jason, how we doing? Fish on Trapper Pete, what's up? Greg, you're not wrong. I've said that before. Like, how many of us are actually wearing, promoting what we do ourselves? Not many people are wearing fur. So hopefully soon, if I can get this Iowa Trapper garment line going, maybe we get something moving. Get fur back in Iowa or in America again would be awesome. Yeah, Flintlock, that is good. That is good. And Bill, it's going to happen, and it's, like I look at that in California, the nuisance calls and wildlife people over there, it's going to go nuts here in the next 10 years because the wildlife's going to get so out of control. Good skunk work. Fish on Trapper Pete, hopefully here in the next couple years. I'm working on getting probably about 150 first hand and start making some garments here over the next, I might play with it a little bit yet this summer, but it's probably going to be next summer when I really start messing with it. Figure if I got a decent following on here, maybe I can get the word spread quicker and kind of you know, gets people wearing fur in America again. You know, so many people back out of it. You look at Canadian Goose; they backed out because of the antis, and I don't know, just be something kind of cool. Maybe a way I could actually quit my real job and literally handle fur every day for a living. Which, I mean, that'd be awesome. That would just be awesome. Yeah, I mean, somebody we've always we've got to be the adult, the grown up when we have to. Hey, Mark, that's awesome, buddy. Yep, I will be at the Iowa Trapper Convention. My work schedule changed. It wasn't supposed to change until after the 12th of September, but it changed starting tomorrow. So starting tomorrow, I got Monday, Tuesday, and Sundays off work. So yeah, I'm having to pull a lot of strings to try to get Friday and Saturday off for the convention, especially on a holiday week. Pretty tough. Jason, 8 skunks this weekend. That's awesome, bud. Yeah, Flintlock, you're right. Yeah, Ruger, not wrong, bud. Wow, Patrick, that's crazy. You're right, Vet. One way or another, I think they're going to learn it, whether it's because of us pushing back or when they get overrun with damage. You know, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Hey, Don, how we doing? Trap Squash, we start November 5th. Oh, yeah, man. I'm sure. I'm sure. Mark, I never canceled my demo because I'm going to make my best attempt to be there, and I think I will. But basically, I have to work a solid 2 weeks before that and a solid 2 weeks after that without a day off, basically, for me to be able to do it. So, all right, Bill, you take care, buddy. Well, thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, I get it, Blakely. I get it, bud. You're right, miss somebody for sure, for sure. Yep, Flintlock, that is a victory. That's a huge victory. Ruger, right? So when's all your season start? How close are we? Sorry we got on kind of a political and anti-talk there. Uh, it is something we need to talk about. I agree. Um, so I'm not upset about it by any means. Just, you know, and we just got to figure out the right way to approach these people is all it is. Oh, Ottercat's in here. Speaking of the people that, they need help. Archery in Nebraska opens in a couple days. That's awesome. That's awesome. November 15th in Missouri. Coon and Possum Skull. Oh, yeah, Ruger. Cool. Cool. Oh, cool. Starts the middle of next month. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm not ready by any means, but I did start working on the shop the other day, getting it cleaned up. I've got a lot of work to do yet, but I feel like I'm catching up and it's not going to be such a last minute thing. I do feel good about where I'm at. Oh, cool, Ray Roy. That's cool. Have you ever been black bear trapping? Or is that something you do yearly? I'm kind of interested. Most of those vids are from Texas. Huh. Oh, Joe, like he passed away. I'm really sorry to hear that, buddy. That's pretty awesome. That's family donated straps to the kids' education at Clear Lake. When is the Clear Lake one? Because I know we've got 4 more set up roughly. Oh, thanks, Arkansas Trapper. Thanks, buddy. We talked about a little bit, not a whole lot, but I'm just glad to be able to help. It's kind of stressful because it pretty much got turned on me in a way. Um, I rented the facility. I supplied the food. I lined up the demos. Um, Also, I mean, obviously, Backwater Baits, Bruce Rhodes, he donated his time and his baits. Uh, Delta Waterfowl with Curtis Barber, they donated a lot of money in traps, but it's kind of stressful. I mean, heck, me myself, I had $400 in this event myself personally, so um, but it's worth it. We got a lot of kids some equipment, and they're excited about it and happy. I if I could afford it, I'd do it every day. That's all that matters. Started last year, goes for 2 months. Awesome. That's cool, buddy. How much? Did you catch anything last year? How's that work? Catch off for now. Bryson, yeah, squirrels. Yeah, it's coming up, buddy. Mark, I actually did a live in the first shed last year. Definitely my most popular live. We had 200 people in here. And my wife was filming for me, so she's trying to ask questions while I'm talking, and it got rough. But I definitely plan to do it again. But if I do it by myself when I'm working for her, I'll get in that zone and I'll quit talking. I'll quit reading comments. But I do want to plan on doing something more this year. G Trapper, what's up, buddy? Jason starts November 16th. Trap squash. This year, I'm probably going to start with about 320, 350, because I want to make sure I hit 100 coon opening day. And then every day, I'm going to try to add 25 to 50. I'm going to try to keep a really consistent number going for a week. And you can't do that unless you're adding traps. But I want them all pre-staked. I'd love to have about, if it all worked out, I would have 1,000 traps pre-staked. But that being said, the 2 weeks we have to pre-stake, I'm going to work harder getting them in the ground than I would actually trapping. Because it takes so long to get my equipment in the ground. You hit a rock, you got to pull it, you got to move down the trail, get it all set up. I can do a couple hundred a day, but that's a good day. That's a really good day. It really does, Arkansas Trapper, 100%. And we had a guy from Kansas show up to that. I said it earlier, but he was, what do you say, 5.5 hours away or something like that. He was ways out there. Yeah, next gen, you do. You just get in that zone. Hey, how am I looking on your big YouTube TV, by the way, that you got in your dorm room by yourself? You better only be looking at trap and stuff on that. Oh yeah, Ruger, for sure. That's actually a good question, Trap Squash. So I was actually talking to one of the guys at the trapping deal yesterday about this. You all know by now I use cat food for bait, nothing more. It works for me, not telling anybody else to switch to this. Is it the most productive thing that I use? Is it the most productive thing to catch raccoons? I don't think so. I really don't. I think there's better stuff out there. But this is how I look at it. If, say, 1 out of every 3 raccoons will eat my cat food, I'm having 5 or 6 raccoons walk down that trail every night, the odds are in my favor I'm going to catch one. They are. And I do believe that's why I have 5 or 6 raccoons on these trails every night. Now, if I'm in an area where I had 1 or 2 raccoons, maybe I'm going to get to a better bait that has a 1 out of every 2 raccoons will be interested in this bait. Something stronger, something sweeter, something really, really appealing to them. Then in those situations, maybe I'd have to, because if I put cat food there, the odds of those 2 coon going by and never a third, I might not catch anything. It's kind of a formula. I'm a very mathematical person, but with my cat food, there's so many raccoons coming through. I know one's going to be wanting it. It's just going to. But I'd have to change my strategy. But at the same time, why I don't use something better. I don't want to spend more money on something better, because cat food is the cheapest thing I found. It's the easiest thing. It's the quickest. I have no reason to spend any more money on bait than I need to, because I have that population. If I had a smaller population, less odds of catching it on cat food, I would have to change something. Just kind of, some of you guys kind of wrap your head around that and think about it. Some of you guys that are using the more commercial baits, or, syrup and molasses, if you're in a low population area, probably stick with it. If you're in a very high raccoon populated area, it might not be needed. Just experiment with something else. That's my opinion. Oh, flintlock, that is tough. Oh, cool. Ray Roy. September 18th. Okay. So you got, what, 3 weeks then? That's the weekend after convention. Joe, are you going to be at the convention? Otter Cat, yeah, right. I'd be in big trouble. Specifically only for trapping, yeah. How's it feel to be on TV? Oh, yeah, Dan. Yeah, and that's my thing. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone out to my shop and, all right, we're going to finish some fur. I'm going to catch a buzz tonight. We're going to get a couple drinks. And next thing you know, I flushed like 30 coon, and my drink's like warm sitting on the table, because I just got in that zone, and I love it. I love finishing fur. Yeah, Blakely, is this going to be a while yet, I think, buddy? I hope not, Flintlock. Bill, I thought you had to go to bed. You're starting to act like me on Trapper Jay's life. I told him I'm leaving, and then 10 minutes later, I'm back. Dan, I do agree with you 90%. But I do think there are some coon that I know that there's coon that walk past my baits. But I'm okay with that, like I said. So, Tyler, no, my intro's done. We made my intro last year. I'm still working on a song, an actual trapping song, with the artist that made my intro. So I'll be right back, fellas. We're getting another drink. Was it, Ruben? It was that long? Just thinking about it. I'm not going to sleep. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Bill. No, Bill, you don't need to talk while I'm gone. Yeah, Mark. So with my fleshing setup, I really like a more vertical beam. Most of you guys have probably seen that by now. But it saves my back. It really does. I think next gen, I think he switched his beam more vertical too. It's not next gen. I guess I should call him Boo, since that's what Mommy calls him. But love you, next gen. You had to bring up the treadmill, asshole. Oh, OtterCat got to it before I did. Thank you. OtterCat, I'll tell you what, buddy. You send me anything you want to. I've got a few good lyrics wrote down for this, but I'm not a songwriter. He's willing to work with me anytime he wants to on this trapping song. I actually postponed it last time because I had some conflicts that it didn't work out. Plus, I wanted more. I wanted more content. I want to give him options. The guy's a hell of a musician. He really knows what he's doing. But I want to give him options to make. If he's making a trapping song, I want it to be the best of the best. I want to make sure the words are right to where it's not going to hurt us. It's just going to promote trapping. And it's tough. There's several things like I want to put in like, no, that could be misinterpreted. That could be a bad thing. Trap Squatch. I started trapping, I want to say I was 12. I saw what trapping was when I was 11. No, maybe I was 12 when I saw it, and I started trapping when I was 13. I'm not 100% sure on that, bud. Right, Bill? Yeah, so next gen, he switched, and he loves it. He loves it, too. Man, we're getting hit with a lot of scams tonight. Ruger, where's Stein's at? Justin Stein's with A&J Skidding Machines. Are you talking like where he lives or just where he's at tonight? He's in Sevier, Southwest Iowa. Yeah, we got all kinds of trolls. But OtterCat's on top of it. Man, I'm proud of you. Look at you go. He's probably busy right now, but he works for a big cattle operation, and he's probably getting ready to start harvesting the crop pretty soon. Mark, I do know he has a video of his first shed here. He just did here, 3 weeks ago? Luke, it wasn't that long ago, so you can probably see it on there. It's pretty similar to mine, I think. Arkansas Trapper, I'll tell you what, buddy. I switched like Next Gen agreed with me. Instead of sitting there doing this all day, now I'm strictly using my arms and my shoulders, pushing that forward. Huge advantage. Saves me a lot of, I think, potentially back issues later in life. Trap Squash. Yeah, probably right, Dan. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Next Gen just shared it. Ruger, I don't want to get you too excited here. No, I wish I had the muscles like I used to. Back when I got married, I was working nights. I worked nights at my main job, and I was roofing every day for all summer long. And believe it or not, I came out of there with like a 6-pack. I looked good. I was happy. And now it's just, I hit my 30s and I like beer and rum and Pepsis at night and McDonald's. So that's part of it. Flintlock, no joke though. Seriously, I'll sit there. This is probably the speed that I'm going when I'm flushing. Um, I'm going to try and set that up this year. Actually, you know what? I skinned these raccoons for that class. Maybe I will try to set up some kind of live again, potentially next weekend, skinning out those raccoons or flushing out those raccoons. Beefcake, something like that. Yeah. I thought yours was bigger than mine next gen. It definitely. I like that box below it. I think it helps quite a bit. I love the Caribou Dan. I actually turned next gen to the Caribou. What was that? A month ago. Next gen. He went. He was a Necker user and loved it, and he was nervous about buying a Caribou at the National. And I said, if you buy buy a Caribou at the National, flush some coon, and if you don't like it, I'll buy it from you. And I'm pretty sure I turned him into a believer. Trap Squatch, I think they are. Ottercat, I'm proud of you. You watched my video. Trap Squatch, that's awesome. Ruger, she's not in bed yet. She's watching her Hallmark, but she'll be head to bed here pretty soon since her and the kids got school and work tomorrow. Dan, that's why the Necker was, and I thought I liked it until I got that Caribou, and I can take that Caribou and flex it like this. And this is a personal opinion. I love the flex in a Caribou knife. Some people hate flex. Some people want that more rigid, no flex at all. But that Caribou, man, it when you hit something, it just kind of molds over it. I personally love it, but it's not for everybody by any means. Oh, cool, Flintlock. That's awesome. I hope it works for you, man. Let me know what you think of it, please. So, Arkansas Trapper, this is my plan that I want to do this year. If you guys see, I've got the beam. Say I got the beam. It's pretty flat, about like that. And I've got my box that sits about right here. The only issue I have with flushing beaver on it is the beaver wants to roll off that into the box. Flushing beam, it likes to roll. I want to build a wooden thing that sits on top of my box. So I've got my beam here and I've got a flat wooden piece right here. So if it wants to go off to the side, it can sit on this and not pull the whole fur off the beam. It's not draping down a foot off the side of my beam. It can pile up right here and not put pressure pulling as I'm flushing. So just an experiment I want to try. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. I have no idea, but it's something I want to work on. Ruger, yeah, right. Yeah, it's Sunday, but it's my Friday today. So Mark, like I said, I swore by the 600. Like, this is the best knife there is. Granted, it's the only knife I ever used. And I finally spent, back then it was like $65 for a Caribou. And it took me a while to, just like when you're learning to flesh, I scraped a couple, ruined a couple, and I'm like, screw this. I'm going back to what I know and what I like. But I forced myself into it, and now I love it. It's the best thing I've ever done. Yeah, trap squash. Exactly. That's one thing I would push on someone wanting to finish fur. Do not buy those $15 flushing knives. If you're going to learn flushing, buy a Necker, a Caribou, an Elite. Spend $50+ on a knife. I know it's an investment, but do not buy that cheap, what I'd almost call aluminum flushing knife for $15. I can take my fingernail and put a groove in the steel of that thing. It's that soft. You definitely want a quality knife. Oh, cool, Greg. That's cool. I'm hoping so, Ruben. I'm hoping. All right, Ruger. You take care, buddy. Yeah, OtterCat. Exactly. You want a good beam too. Don't get, you want good hardwood beam for sure. For sure. Don't cheap out on it. And you want that beam to be, oh, yeah. OtterCat said it right there. You got to fit it. I won't say it's the hardest thing to do. It's probably a 50-50 for a beam to match your knife. But you want fleshing fur. I'm just going to say it's an art all of its own. If you guys have never finished fur, learn to do it, because it is something when you're done, you can puff your chest out a little bit because you've got pride in what you've done. It takes a little bit to learn, and it can be discouraging and very frustrating. But once you successfully flesh a good, for me, it's just that, just pure white raccoon, and you get it stretched, and you get that big clump of fur, really prime. It's just beautiful. I take a lot of pictures of them because it's just, I'm very proud of that. And I think a lot of people miss that opportunity to feel pride in what they've done. Yep, Dan, that's another thing. I did a video on that, of how to sharpen a flushing knife, and I had so many people say, "No way, I'm not doing it. I can't do that. That's going to ruin my knife." And because I said the same thing when I learned it, but it's pretty crazy. Yeah, trap squatch. I use a wood beam. I got a 6-inch. Flintlock, I'd just be nervous for it, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'd try it for sure. Mark, just stick with it. Don't give up. I tried finishing fur for like 4 years. The start of the year, I'd put up like 10 and I'd ruin them, and I'd be like, screw it, we're selling grain. Next year, I'm going to finish fur. Ruin 10, screw it, we're selling grain. To finally, one year I stuck with it, forced it. I did like 30, ruined probably the first 20. And I was like, all right, I'm getting better. And then, not tooting my own horn, but I feel pretty good about my fur handling with my put up. And now, every year, the first 10, I might have a few nicks or here and there, but then it's muscle memory. Just boom, boom, boom. There you go, Dan. Exactly. Never used wood. Interesting. That's cool, buddy. Stick with it, though. And that's the thing. If you guys are comfortable with it, don't ever change it. Maybe experiment with something, with new types of traps or lures or bait. But stick with it, man. Michael Grant, how we doing, buddy? You ready for season? We're coming up on it, bud. Arkansas, I'm more proud of my put up than I am my numbers. I really am. Yeah, Flintlock. I actually met him at the NTA, so that was pretty cool. But uh, it's to each their own. Whatever you're comfortable with. Here's a good example of that. So I was comfortable with my Necker 600. I went out on a limb and I experimented with the Caribou, and I love it. And I'm so glad I did it. If I never experimented and tried something, I'd never have known. So I always say stick with what you're comfortable with, but you can't be narrow-minded on just that either. I'm real passionate about this, I guess, with like bait or lure. If you have good success with this, that's great. But next year, take 10% of your line or 5% of your line and try something new. Don't take the whole thing, but just take a little bit. Maybe you'll like that better. And then you can maybe, next year do 25%. Okay, that's still working. Now we can kind of start jumping to that. Just my opinion. Oh, cool, Dan. You got all three. There you go. There you go, Michael. Arkansas. Yep, I get it, buddy. Trap squatch, I couldn't agree more. And I get a lot of heat, for releasing possums, which this year I won't have to. I've got a market for some stuff, but uh, I do owe it to them to maximize my value on these furs. That's why I don't kill anything unless I'm going to use it. Possums are nest raiders and they're terrible for populations, but I refuse to kill an animal just to throw it in the ditch. That's just not me. It's just not who I am. Um, y'all can judge me whatever you want to do, but it's just not how I was brought up. Uh, if I kill an animal, I'm going to do everything in my power to use that animal in some way, whether it be fur or meat, or something. I'm going to benefit by taking that animal's life. Just kind of how I am. Ruben, funny story. The first year when I really started putting up fur, I put up 53 raccoon, and I took him to the local fur buyer, and I said, I'd like to take these to the fur harvesters auction, because he was a depot then, for the fur harvesters. And he goes, well, that's not for, I'll come back here later and I'll pick them up because it's not for another month yet. And I said, well, okay, that's fine. And I was pretty young yet. And I was like, do you mind? Yeah, I know there's lines of people behind me. Can you tell me how I'm doing on these? Because I'm curious. Does it look good or not? And he looked at them and he goes, how many do you want? I said, what do you mean, how many do I want? He goes, can you have 500 of these done in 2 weeks when I come back? I said, no. But he wanted me to flush fur for him. So it made me feel good. It made me feel like I was doing it right. Because without someone there hands-on teaching me, telling me that's good or not, I had no idea. I was going all off of DVDs and VHS tapes because that was pretty popular still back then. Really, Otter? Huh, interesting. Joe, absolutely. Looking forward to meeting you, buddy. You take care of yourself. Mark's head to bed too. Yeah, I'll be at the convention. I'll probably do another live before then, but we'll see you at convention, buddy. Uh-oh, Michael. Yeah, they're thick, buddy. I get it, Flintlock, and I don't judge people for not being that way. It's just not me. It's just not how I grew up. I guess how we grew up influences who we are as adults. We all know that, but for me, if I kill an animal, I'm going to use it to the best of my ability. Um, and this year, luckily, I'm going to have a market for possums, so I'll be able to keep all of them, hopefully. Yeah, Dan, that's too bad. Wow, Ruben, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I got a challenge for the 42 people that are in here right now. If you haven't talked tonight, say something. I learned at the NTA. A lot of people that I met said they watch my channel, they love my lives, but they just sit in the corner and don't really say anything. I'm like, please do. Please speak up. Please say hi. Introduce yourself. I love interacting with you guys. That's the whole reason I do these things. Trap Squatch. I appreciate it. There's a lot more there. When I think of education on YouTube for trapping, um, it there's three that pop up quite a bit. Trapper J, very educational. He also has a lot of fun with it. 330 Maniac, very informational. But the top one with just straight learning and knowledge, I would have to give credit to Coon Creek. I've watched a lot of his stuff, but and I've picked up a lot of things too. Unfortunately, I grew up in the era before YouTube, so all my instruction came from VHS tapes, DVDs, and then eventually going to conventions. And going to conventions was huge. That really benefited me. Not just going to demos, but the trap talk afterwards was huge. Hey, Trapper Bob, how we doing? Wow, that's a hell of a deal, Michael. Trap them like Dave down in your head of the woods, Ole Miss. I'm not sure what that means, buddy. Absolutely, Ruben. Take pride in your put up. That's awesome. You should take pride in your put up. Yeah, Greg. I met him at the NTA. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Yeah, and he puts up a lot of fur, Dan. And he knows what he's doing. It's pretty cool. Absolutely, Vet. I have a lot of respect for Jay. He's helped me out a lot, especially with my YouTube channel for sure. Um, but between those three are I mean, there's so many people in here that have channels that are growing and learning. Um, but for me, I think Coon Creek for strictly educational is probably number one. Um, that being said, I'll never miss one of Jay's lives because it's awesome. I love messing with him on there, uh, especially when I leave and come back all the time. I will not, Craig. I actually got asked to. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend that one. Hoosier's another one that's up there too. Um, there's so many great trapping channels, guys. There really is. Uh, and I won't talk negative of anything. There's some guys that are like, oh, that person doesn't know what they're doing, and they start a channel. I wouldn't say they don't know what they're doing, but they're showing you what works for them, and maybe it doesn't work for you. So I don't degrade or anybody making a channel, uh, but there's just unfortunately trappers we're kind of our own worst enemy in a way. We don't support each other, so it's kind of sad. Lurker alert. Vet's lurking? Who's lurking? Yeah, I hadn't seen you comment for a little before Jay's the GOAT. Yeah, Arkansas Trapper, absolutely. They all have got something to teach. Um, I've never met 330. He's the one I haven't met yet of those three. I'm hoping to get to. Um, I'd actually like to go up there fishing with him sometime. Seems like his small fish are bigger than my midsection, which is not small. Oh yeah, AutoCap for sure. I mean, the guy really knows what he's doing. 100%. 100%. How am I a lurker? Craig, who has YouTube channels on here? Oh shoot. Quite a few. Dan, OtterCat, just looking through my to the chat right now. Arkansas. Just like my cat food. Yeah, Wayne, you're probably right. That's in all groups. If what I would tell someone getting into YouTube trapping, watch anything you want to, but take pieces out of everything you've watched and put them into your line. Because what works for me on my line, I will promise you, is not going to be 100% what works on yours. Maybe it's 95%, maybe it's 5%. But no matter where you're at, you cannot replicate my line exactly to work 100% the way it does for me, for you. Same thing like with Jay or Coon Creek or any of them. Pick up pieces and learn from it. Don't just think, oh, say, okay, so for an example, say 330 runs all Belials, which I'm not sure. I think he does have run quite a few, but say he runs all Belials. Don't sell your Duke 330s for Belials because somebody else uses them and has good success. No, you use what works for you. And we're going back to it again. Getting on a rant. Hey, exactly, Bill. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, Flintlock, exactly. There's several guys on here that have good stuff. Patrick's living through the trapping channels. Nothing wrong with that. I started my channel for two reasons. One, when I caught 1,000 coons the first time, and all I heard was, "Man, it must be nice to be single. Man, it must be nice to be laid off or not have a job all winter." All right, you know what? It kind of pissed me off. Like I have a family, I have a full-time job, and I'm still going out and push myself to do this, just like anybody else could, if they got the populations and they have the drive and the equipment to do it. Where were we? Lost my train of thought. Oh, the second reason, yeah. There's so many people that I know online that they quit trapping because of the prices, and they just want to kind of, they want to see trapping, but they just don't have the time to do it, or it's not worth it for them, or maybe they're disabled and can't right now. And I want to give them something to see, and I'm very happy with where my channel's at because of it. Yeah, exactly, Arkansas. Greg, that's so hard. I brought that up in our trapper education class when the DNR was talking about 220s. You got to be 200 yards from houses. When he was done with his spiel, I spoke up and I said, just because you have to be 200 yards doesn't mean you're 201 yards and you said it. When I set a 220, I'm setting it in a way, not just the position of the trap, but the angle, the slope. I am extremely minimizing my chance of anything being caught in there I shouldn't. I wish I had words for you that could help you, but I'm very thankful that you're hesitant, because that's good. That means you're thinking smart about it and not just throwing a 220 out there anywhere you can. Use your head, and you'll start figuring out these places, in the middle of nowhere, no neighbors have dogs. What really helps me with that muskrat stretcher over the top, I can brush them in really good. So from the ground level to that top of that 220, we're 10 inches. Most dogs will go over that grass that's over the top of them, I feel, which really helps me. Arkansas trapper. Need to learn what a computer was. Yeah, I get it. Oh, cool, Dan. The little girl, find your drive. Which little girl are you talking about, Bill? Me. Matt, me what? Did I miss something? All right, Tyler. You take care, buddy. Ah, Matt was lurking. That's what it was. Thanks for saying, bud. Thanks for stopping in. Tyler, thanks for stopping in, buddy. You have a good night too. Talented Outdoors, what's up? Craig, I don't blame him. I really don't. Arkansas, yep. I get it. I get it, Greg, for sure. That's a. I'm going to use that quote, Ottercat. If you can't set a trap and sleep comfortably, you should pull it. 100%. That's really good. I really like that, buddy. First educational thing you've said ever since I met you. Michael, that's funny. Hunting and stuff. What's up? Oh, yeah, Charlie. Or that has the channel. The young lady that has the YouTube channel. Oh, it's right there. I just commented on her video the other day. Trapping Squad. Wild North and Trapping. The Wild North. I'm not subscribed to that one, but I've heard of that one. I'm going to have to check that one out. Oh, Towns Outdoors, you missed a lot. We were very talkative tonight. Yeah, Craig, exactly. Yep. Okay, Greg got it. Trapping Squad. Um, I was that bot. Okay, so this situation happened at the NTA. I'm done with my demo, and this young lady approaches me, introduces herself, and tells me she has a trapping channel too. And I was like, okay, awesome. And she had a business card printed up with Trapping Squad, yada yada. It was pretty cool. So I put it in my pocket because I'm talking to other people too, and I'm like, I'm gonna check this out in the hotel room later. Get to the hotel room. That was what was that? Friday night. Friday night was kind of a rough one for me. So I got back to the hotel room probably about 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, all right, reaching for that card and it's gone. I lost that card, and I felt terrible because I'm like, I want to find out who I want to see her channel. And Saturday at the convention, I kept asking everybody that came up to me. I'm like, hey, there's a young lady. Introduce yourself at my demo. And finally, one of the guys actually found out who it was, and I was able to find her channel and subscribe. So it bothered me. It's like, we need our youth to do this. That's awesome. I was so happy. Ottercat, how about this? I'll sell you a T-shirt for a 10% markup from what I normally sell them for. Huh. Well, like, I've never heard of that one. Trap lines and end lines. Bill's falling asleep. I'm boring him. TS-85s, Michael. You won't go wrong. You won't go wrong. Ooh, Talent Outdoors. That sucks, buddy. I'll be right back, guys. Gonna step outside to drain the main vein. right. Bill, I'll tell you what, Bill, I will happily get you a t-shirt, my friend. Happily. Ottercat, you watched her. And that's so cool. Between her and I met Charlie, the quite the little lure bait maker. I met a lot of young trappers, women and men both. It was pretty cool. It was fun. Wayne, yeah. Vet. All I'll say, I'm not doing it for her. Glenn from New Mexico. Yeah, because you guys lost all your private ground down there, or public. That sucks, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Oh, AutoCAD. AutoCAD. I didn't even tell your wife to buy anything. Next thing I know, she's like, we just got to buy his stuff because he's awesome and he taught, AutoCAD everything he knows, so we had to buy it. Oh shoot, that's funny. Ah, boy, Michael. Attaboy. No, but for real, those of you in the chat that I met at the NTA, it was a real honor. If Arkansas is still in here, probably definitely trumps OtterCat, obviously. But no, it was awesome meeting you, Otter. Even though you tricked me at first, it was so nice to finally put faces to some of these names. And I felt bad because a lot of people came up to me and they're like, "Hey, how we doing, man?" And I'm like, "Good." And I don't know you, and then they say their name and they don't have a channel, but I know that name from these lives, and it's like, oh, okay. I'm sorry, but I've never seen your face before. So, Mike Hauser, how we doing? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna send it out to him tomorrow morning. So, I thought I had like 6 ounces of it left. And I couldn't find the 4-ounce bottle, so I had the 2-ounce, and I didn't realize till it was live that he said, "Yeah, just send me whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then I started digging, and I found it. Fell underneath some deer meat in the big deep freeze, so which I don't know how that's gonna taste with the whole outside of that smelling like skunk. How big of a feller am I? I'm about 255 pounds right now, right at 6 foot. So my BMI is probably a little higher than it should be, but that's all right. %of your sets for bobcats, all gray fox skunks, no cats. Huh? Interesting, Glenn. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, it just it was so fun meeting all these people. I would love to get together with just you know all of you and just sit around a round table and just talk ideas. I'd love to listen to some of the things you guys have. I've learned probably just as much from my channel as people have learned from me. Um, and that's awesome. That's what we need to do is connect trapper to trapper. It's amazing. Oh yeah, Mike. I actually don't have any of his skunk lure, but apparently he's gonna have some of my skunk in it. So Ruben's back. Trap Squatch, who counts BMI? That's a biometric screening that I'm about to have at work that says, "Hey, you're fat and you're gonna die young if you don't change anything." That's who's watching it. That's all right. We're my genetics. I'm naturally going to be a bigger person. My brother, who actually, my brother is quite amazing. He was the heavyweight state wrestling champion his senior year. He went and played football at South Dakota State. Actually went to the Patriots training camp a couple times. Um, my and he was 6'4", 360. My dad is 6'3", 310. My mom is probably, I probably shouldn't say that. She might watch this sometime. Let's just say genetics, we run pretty good size here on my side. So it's finally catching up to me. No more 175, 180 pounds. We broke 250 now. So I'd like to say I carry it well, but we'll see. Dan, little fella, I doubt that. Oh, God, that's awesome. BMI. Hey, Gus. Hi. Let's see if Gus wants to hang out for a little bit. She's growing. Hi, baby. She's getting bigger. Yep, she's in my nose. My wife hates it. My daughter almost gagged. She took her nose and buried it in mine. Oh, Trap Squatch, you haven't seen that yet? Yeah, we got a pet skunk. Matt Starr, Iowa is one of 13 states where you can have a pet skunk. There's not many that allow it without special permitting or anything else. So, oh, Miss Iowa don't what? Arkansas, they had to take the glands out when she was little. Um, I'm not sure exactly how or what. I do know they sedated her. Fair enough, Otter. Fair enough. Want to say hi, Gus? Yeah, right, Michael. As I'm sure many of you married men in here can attest that certain things stop once you get married. Arkansas. Yeah, she's a cutie. She really is. Say hi. Dan, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon for you, buddy. Um, oh, that's funny. Um, but yeah, I got one for you no matter what, buddy. I promise you. It should be coming here hopefully somewhat soon, actually. Because they went in with that last batch that first batch that I sent them. So she's pretty skunk. drink. I probably shouldn't go to jail for animal cruelty. But yeah, Ruben, she really is. She's gaining. Her litter mate, the male, is almost double her size. All right, Matt, you take care, buddy. Whoa, easy. You take care, bud. Thanks for stopping in, man. So, Morals does good work. They really do. So, Arkansas, our main food that we feed her is cat food. But my wife also throws lettuce, carrots, the tops of strawberries, celery, all kinds of vegetables in there. Bill, yeah, yeah, she's a pretty one though. Definitely a pretty one. Thanks, Bill, for everything you've done for me, for the trapping community. We appreciate it, buddy. Trap squatch. Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, she just goes up and poof, sniff, 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 sniff. That's all she's doing. Patrick, you take care, buddy. Thanks for stopping in, man. She's so fat now. I mean, she's got rolls already. Ottercat, if that happened, she'd end up just like that one right there. Yeah, Arkansas, and that's so. A couple of the people that reached out to that took the trappers class. Um, it was a boyfriend girlfriend couple that took this trappers class too. The girlfriend actually had caught her first bobcat last year. I'm not sure where she sent it to get tanned, but it got ruined. Um, Something happened. I don't know what it was, and I felt terrible. She caught her first bobcat. It was like the third animal she's ever caught in a trap, so it was pretty cool. But man, that would be tough. That would just be tough. All right, Bill. Thank you, though. I do appreciate everything you've done, man. Sorry if I shouldn't have said your name, but I really do appreciate everything you've done for us. Mike, so I work in basically a grocery store distribution center in the frozen section. So I drive a forklift every day in -20. Craig, you headed to bed too? All right. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Off the hook. How we doing, bud? Yeah, we're just, hanging out with a skunk that's burying its head in my arm. She is growing big, though. But, yeah, guys, we are. If Next Gen's in here, he could keep track for me. We are 65 days away from season, 67. Oh, hunting stuff? No, not at all. I so hunting stuff. I will tell you this. So since I started working in the freezer department about 8 years ago, I've definitely gotten soft to heat. Um, like our house literally can be 62, 63 degrees, and I'm perfectly fine in gym shorts and a cutoff. But as soon as it hits 70 degrees, no matter what, I am sweating. I'm sweating bad. I get so acclimated to the cold that I can't do the heat. Yeah, Jeff, I felt terrible for her. She actually asked me to recommend her a couple tanneries, and I gave her some thoughts because I felt bad. I really did. I mean, she's my age, so it wasn't a little girl by any means, but I still felt bad. You could tell she took a lot of pride. Actually, matter of fact, that bobcat she trapped, she's local. She's around here. She asked me if I would flush it out for her and everything. And I said, absolutely. You bring it by some night when I'm working in the first shed, I'll flush it for you, no charge, no nothing. Her boyfriend actually brings me some coyotes to skin and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, absolutely, I'd be happy to help. Yeah, Ruben, it happens. It really does. Yeah, Dan, right? Hunting stuff, yeah, I do have insulation, that's for sure. 255 pounds of it. Eli, how we doing, bud? I knew I startled her. I guess. You're working with Quick Trip Distribution Center in Wisconsin. Spent my time in a fruit. Okay, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly, Bill. Exactly. That was so crazy that you ran across my channel while you were in the hospital. Um, and that you're willing to donate what you did to trappers to help educate, and you're not even a trapper yourself. You are now one for sure. Just for your generosity. So thank you, Bill. Whether we all know it or not, we appreciate everything you've done, buddy. I'll tell you what, she's got some claws though. Oh. Woo. Eli, Indiana, we got the Iowa deer here, buddy. Oh, that's too bad, Arkansas. That's too bad. Mike Hauser, um, if you're ready for a story, I got one for you. That tickles. Uh, oh, you can learn so much from skunk. All right, Trap Squatch. Thanks for coming in, buddy. You take care of yourself. Oh, Ruben, that's tough, buddy. That's tough. Oh, cool, Jeff. That's awesome. So, Mike, to answer your question, how did I get in trapping? So, my dad was a huge bird hunter. Um, he was a big bow hunter at one point. Uh, and once he realized he couldn't bird hunt the way he wanted to, as well as bow hunt the way he wanted to, he picked one. Um, hence how he went to the bird hunting route. My dad was phenomenal at training bird dogs. Um, at one point, we had 38 bird dogs from 20 states or 18 states, something like that. Because he trained them on the side. That's what he did. Uh, and we guided for a lot of people that come from out of state to hunt Iowa, or yeah, to hunt birds in Iowa. We went down to Creston, Iowa, when I was 11 years old, something like that. And my dad was guiding bird hunters. Um, it was a big hunt club that came up here. They released pen raised birds. It was like 800 of them in 2 days. It was crazy the amount of birds and people that were here. But the club hired local high school kids to help carry birds and just to give these hunters water and such. The first day we get down there, we get down there at like 6 o'clock in the morning to meet up with the local club. And one guy, I still remember this red Chevy regular cab pickup. This high school cab, probably from the 80s is what it was. But this high school kid had 3 raccoons in the back of his truck. And I'd never seen raccoons before up close like that. And that was in November. I think I was 11, maybe 12. It stuck with me. I was curious about that. So like that next summer, I went to coast and I bought 3 Duke 1.5s. And I was walking like a half mile one way just to set traps behind my dad's place in the timber, making a fake cubby out of wood with sticks, throwing a piece of deer fat in the back, and placing this 1.5 unmodified, undyed, unwaxed. It probably had 5 pounds of tension on this pan until I finally caught a possum. And that set me off. Ever since then, it was just game on. You better chill out, sweetheart, or you're going back to the pen. I think it was only a possum the first year. The next year I went out, got permission for a couple ponds for muskrats, and I caught like 15 muskrats. The next year it was like 100 muskrats, and then I caught 6 coon, maybe, something like that. And then ever since then, I got permission, started walking in. I got up to like 80 coon on private ground, and then I started road lining. And I caught 83 coon in 5 days. The next year, I caught 162, then 283, then it was 512, and that's when I think I got married. And then it backed down to like 200 and some, and then it was back to 5 something, then 714. I got the numbers wrote down somewhere. I'd have to look, but it's pretty amazing. I was happy with it. Boy, this thing is just all over the place right now. She's grabbing on the back of my hat. Did the chat freeze up? Is anybody still there? Mike's the last thing I got. Vet's still here. Vet, you're the man. I appreciate everything you've done for me, man. I really do. Mike, what state are you in, buddy? What state are you in? Arkansas. Not here. Not sure how much longer. So y'all just sitting there. Oh. Those scratch marks are going to look like an affair. Oh. Oh. Wisconsin? Oh, sweetheart, that hurt. Yeah, Mike, from what I understand, you guys have probably the most superior quality of raccoon, but you just don't have the numbers that we do. Hunting stuff. No, it's not much of a story. I mean, I didn't come from a trapping background. I am the first trapper of my genetics that I'm aware of. I'm sure somewhere down the line, some great uncle or great grandpa or something trapped, but my dad never trapped. My grandparents on both sides that I know of never trapped. I found the passion, and And honestly, I'm very fortunate because there's so many people that wander through this world and don't know what they like to do. And I found mine, and I'm very thrilled. Eli, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. You didn't have to do that. Chad Mahler, how we doing, man? Good to see you in here, buddy. All you've ever trapped is gophers. Oh man, what state are you in hunting and stuff? Eli, oh, you don't have to hit me with another one, buddy, by any means, but I do appreciate it, bud. Um, no, it's not really even a sob story, but I never had anybody teach me until like I said, I got DVDs and VHS tapes. Um, and in the first 10 years of trapping, that taught me 95% of what I knew. Um, Now, I still learn stuff from DVD. I still buy DVDs because I'm that guy. But I learned so much from these conventions and talking to people. The demos are awesome, and I'll never cut them down. But the amount you can learn from talking to trappers after the fact, or pick up just from talking to people, is phenomenal. Uh, that's one thing I love about the Iowa Trapper Association coming up. There's gonna be a lot of knowledge in those demos on Friday. That's gonna look bad. Oh. But I'll tell you what, Friday night you get to. We're good. That drew blood. I guarantee that drew blood. But what are you doing? But just sitting down with trappers in the evening, having a few cold ones, you learn so much. So much. Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Oh, you're in Colorado. That's tough, buddy. That's tough, man. I wish you luck, bud. That's hard. Yeah, Chad. Yeah. You're driving a semi for a living, man. That's something I could never do. So props to you. Arkansas Trapper, you're probably not wrong, but at least I have evidence on here. She's got. She's not gonna want to show them. But look at them suckers. Those suckers are sharp. Mike, thank you. Um, there is a lot of knowledge out here. You've got Trapper Jay. He does a lot, especially with coyotes and stuff. He was in the Beaver later. Coon Creek, just an all around very educational, especially with fur handling. 330 Maniac up there with fishing and beaver. No Name Trapper. He does phenomenal with like blind sets with 1.5s and trails. Um, Everybody has their thing to offer. Um, and hopefully people kind of pick and choose what works for them out of everybody and make it work. Ottercat, I'm not worried about me. I'm just worried about getting in trouble. That's awesome, Flintlock. That's awesome. One of the big things for me that taught me road lining was Kyle Katz road line antidotes. I've watched that DVD so many times, it doesn't work anymore. There's like 6 or 7 places where it shorts out on me. Yeah, Dan, they are little badger claws. Oh yeah, Muller. She still knows. She sleeps right here in the cage next to it, so she knows. Oh, Jeff, cool. You started in '66. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you stopping in. I appreciate it. Ray Roy, number one piece of advice for a new trapper: For a raccoon trapper, find out what works for you and don't let anybody tell you what doesn't. I'll tell any trapper this. Take any bits and pieces from anybody you learn from and make it fit the way you trap. My channel, like I said, no one's going to duplicate exactly everything I do with the success I do because it's my type of set. You look, say Mauler, Chad's up there. He's a few hours from me. I can take something from his line and improve mine, but I can't trap just like he does. It just wouldn't work for me. It's just not my style, or it's not how I work. And the same thing, he couldn't sit here and take my whole line and make it work. Matter of fact, I got the 220 stabilizers back. Things don't exactly work for him like they do for me. So keep an open mind and never give up on what works for you. Mike, you want to be a trapper? That's something I started off with. I need to really, really work on that. I think that's my best thing I have going for me. I just have a lot of work to do on that. I'm going to put her back in and I'll go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, fellas. All right, sweetheart. You're so angry. You're like Mom. She's so angry. Make dirt holes for carrots. Oh, yeah, we just talked about that, Mike. I actually had some really good beaver footage lined up. Unfortunately, it got deleted when we cleared the iPad from last year. Kind of frustrating. Oh, I won't forget you at all, Eli. Not at all. Thank you, sir. You didn't have to do all that by any means. I'm going to have to check that out, Arkansas. I'm going to check that out, buddy. I can't believe season's so close. Yeah, we are 61, 67 days, 65 days from season right now. So much work to do. I think I'm pushing close to 850 dog proofs. Probably 3 to 350 220s and about 150 footholds right now. So if I can get all the 220s and DP staked, that's going to be awesome. Flintlock, my preseason is going to be way more work than trapping. I guarantee it. 100%. If I can get, 1,000 traps pre-staked, that's going to be phenomenal. Mauler, muskrat's going to be kind of tough. Not terrible. I mean, you're probably talking around that $3 range. Not some $1.50 or $1.75, but It's still not going to be good by any means, but I did a good dead. Thanks, Ottercat. Otter thinks I'd be a good dead person. That's awesome. No, it's too late. You can't comment now. You already said it. Oh, absolutely, Eli. There's no such thing as a perfect trapper. I won't be. You won't be. Mauler, Flintlock, Arkansas, Ottercat. Nobody in here is perfect. But there are a lot of really good trappers, whether you have 40 years experience, 10 years of experience, or 3 seasons or 2 seasons of experience. You all can learn from each other. You really can. Um, there, we all have different mind processes. You remember here a little bit ago, I was talking about how I use cat food, and I admitted to you that it's probably not the best bait in the world. 1 out of every 3 raccoons will probably eat it, but when I have 5 or 6 raccoons going past my set, my odds are in my favor. I have no reason to spend the money for the good stuff, the top of the line stuff that costs 10 times as much, but it catches 1 out of every 2 raccoons. I don't need to do that because I have 6 running past my sets because I'm in that good of an area. Yeah, Mauler, you're not far off, buddy. How many is this person planning on catching? Oh, Flintlock. It's not even. So, with all the traps that I acquired this year, this is my year to dip everything. I do it normally every 2 years. So, I'm going to take 1 to 2 days to dip every trap that I have. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time, but I got to tag my new stuff, power wash anything that's muddy or dirty. Got to make probably 300 to 400 pogos. Plenty of work to do. The shop alone, the next 2 days, the shop is going to get really cleaned up, make it look really good again. I got to get moving old freezer out. There's a lot. If I had to guess preseason work, not including scouting, I'm probably about 70 to 80 hours worth right now. Just trap modification, dyeing, trap tags, that by itself is probably 40 hours. No joke. Working on the shop. I'm going to build some walls. I'm going to build some shelves. It's going to add up. Ottercat, you're 100% right. Mike, my opinion, and this is strictly my opinion, it's both. I make money trapping. I do. I do it on a large enough scale that I can sell it to a bigger scale buyer in a sense, or kind of be like a buyer in his own. And I have enough markets to support, other than just the fur. So I do make money trapping. Would I be better off going to my full-time job and just working extra there? Probably, especially with the mental exhaustion and the physical exhaustion. But people don't think about the mental. The mental exhaustion is what kills me on my trap line. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. But even if fur's worth 0, I wouldn't hit it like I do, but I still trap because I love being out there. I love being on this. I'm a very nostalgic person. I really am. I will hop. So, fun fact, I started sharing this a couple weeks ago, so I'll go ahead and share it again. I got one spot on my line. It's not where I caught my first raccoon, but multiple years when I first started trapping, I caught raccoons in this ditch right off the road. And I'll often sit down and I'll take lunch I'll curl up inside this culvert, which is like a 5 foot tall culvert. I'll curl up in the bottom of it because it's dry almost every year. This year especially will be dry. And I'll have lunch. I'll sit there and just reminisce, what trappers were here before me. Before I started doing this, who was here? I've taken probably 30 coon off of, I look out that culvert right there, right on the edge of that culvert. I've probably taken 30 coon over the years. And it's just, it means something to me. There's several spots. If you guys watch my videos, the wooden culvert that I trap, it's literally 200 yards from where my dad grew up. My dad and his entire family, all my uncles, my aunt, they grew up right there. My uncle used to hide in that culvert when they played hide and seek. And it's just, I'm a very, very nostalgic, like deep thinking person. It's kind of a flaw, but at the same time, I'm okay with it because I love that about me in a way. Ottercat, yep. Chad, message me tomorrow, buddy. I might be able to help him out. Eli Smith, I have not seen that, but I will check that out tomorrow. I will definitely check that out tomorrow. You got comments on your channel, bud? Mauler, I'll tell you what, buddy. No matter what, your fur will be moved. I'll promise you that. I will promise you that, Mauler. Ottercat, I love my McChickens. Don't judge me. Exactly, Arkansas. And that's the thing. Like, I cannot tell you guys how much that when I start scouting here, probably going to be October 5th to 10th. I'm going to drive down these roads, and as soon as I step out that truck, as you guys know, I trap the road ditches, but as soon as I step out of that truck and I see where I'm going, it's just like a memory flashback. Last year I caught this. Last year, the year before I caught this. 3 years ago. This is where my first ever was of something. And it's just, that's why I do this. I can take you right now to where I caught my very first fox, my very first mink, my very first muskrat, very first everything. I could take you right now. And I could put a detailed image in your head of what it was like. I could tell a story, what the weather was like, what I was driving, what I looked like at 15 or 16 years old. I could tell you everything about that day. But that's just who I am, because those memories have been instilled in my head, and that is why I do this. I love to trap, guys. That is who I am. And until I am no longer physically able to, or I'm not legally able to, I will trap until the day I die. I really hope that I am that guy who actually I met basically what I want to be. I met this guy about 12 years ago. He was an old mink trapper. The guy's got to be 80 years old, and he caught like 3 mink in 1 bridge versus me covering 20 bridges and catching 2 all season. But I want to be that guy that at 80, 85 years old goes down to 1 bridge, 1 area, and catches 2 coon and a mink in a year. I'm okay with that. I am. I'm young enough now, and I somewhat got agility on my side. I want to go for numbers. But I know my days are numbered. I know that. As I get older, I'm going to do less and less. but I want to trap no matter what. I want to go to bed thinking, and this is kind of what I think of like when I was young and getting into deer hunting hard. I want to go to bed that opening day of deer season and not being able to sleep. What's tomorrow going to have? That's what I want to do when I'm 85 years old, setting 2 traps a year. That's what I want. Exactly, Mike. Exactly. Sorry, I got behind on the chat, guys. Oh yeah, Dan. We do beaver back straps for on the grill, or I'll do hindquarters in the crock pot. All right, hunting and stuff. I appreciate stopping in, buddy. You take care, bud. Ottercat. I promise you, I remember my first mink. My first mink was in a muskrat hut about 3/4 of a mile from my dad's house. And as I walked from the road to go check that trap, the DNR pulled up and asked my dad what I was doing. As I was trying to walk back through this marsh, which was about knee, halfway up my thigh deep of water and mud, carrying what I didn't even know what it was. I'd never seen a mink before. And my dad was driving, so I was 15, 14 years old. And the DNR saw me walking up with a mink, and he's the one that told me what a mink was. So yes, you can give me crap all you want, buddy. I get it. And I game on. But I will never forget that first mink. I will never forget that. It is in a 110, probably about 12 inches underwater, going into a muskrat hut. And there's just got cold enough the night before I was breaking skim ice with my waders. Not enough to where I had to step and break down, but where I could walk through it and break it. So, 1/8 of an inch, I mean, very thin ice, but I still remember that. Ruben, you're right on the weasel. We'll get there, though. Oh, vet. Oh, that hurts. Dan, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Vet, man, that hurts. Cut me deep. Flintlock, I love that. I love that. Yeah, Mauler, it's a strong meat. It really is. But man, it's good. It is really good. Eli, don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. You know, I get a lot of people that ask me, why I do it. What am I doing? Guys, I love to trap. I started this channel to help people. For the guy that hung everything up, he wants to kind of see trapping. That's why I do this. That's why this channel came about. It wasn't. I get a lot of, oh, you must think you're something special. God, guys, I'm not. I have a full-time job. I have a full-time family, but I love to trap. And I'm going to save as much time throughout the year to focus on trapping. The rest of the year, I'm busting my ass at work every single day. Just trying to mentally and physically prepare for this. This is my thing. This is what I love to do. Wow, Chad. You got 4 fox on your first fox day. That is amazing. That is just amazing. No, I'm so thankful to be able to do what I still do, guys. Like I said, we got so many battles on our hands with antis. We've got to do our thing to start promoting trapping. It's just, we've got to start stepping up. Everybody. All right, Arkansas Trapper. Really glad I got to meet you at the NTA, buddy. You take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you soon, bud. Oh, shit, Otter. Yeah, that's tough, buddy. 30 snares over 40 miles. Really, Flintlock? That's crazy. You know, I get it. Everyone likes to flip me crap about the whole mink and coyote and weasel thing now, but I mean, I still remember when I was still trapping private property. I remember catching 2 mink in one day, about 15 yards apart. I'd catch 8 or 9 mink a season. Nothing big by any means, but when I was running 30, 35 traps, I felt that was pretty good. But just coon is my bread and butter. It's just what we have here. There's so many of them, and that is 90% of why I'm so successful is my raccoon numbers. For example, like Mahler, who's posting on here with his comments, he in his area. If I was to go to his area, I'd probably catch 50 at most because of the population. That's it. I am in such a rich area of raccoons. Once I learn the lay of the land and learn where these trails are going to be and have the equipment to do it, it just happens because there's so many of them. So many of them. They're just everywhere, guys. They are absolutely everywhere. There's no secret to raccoon trapping, guys. There's really not. There's just, like I say when I preach at the demos and stuff, you've got to have the equipment. Okay, you're going to go catch a pile of raccoon. Where are you going to put them? Are you going to sew them on the carcass? Are you going to skin them? Do you have freezers for it? Do you have a setup? Do you have an area to keep them cool until you skin them? Do you have the population? Is there enough of them there? The hardest part that most people don't realize is the drive. How hard are you willing to push yourself to get your goal? I strived for my goal for like 5 or 6 years till I finally hit my 1,000. Extremely proud of myself for it. And many of you can push yourself that hard if you want to. But it is tough. It is tough. It's tough to fight exhaustion. And, it's tough to fight laziness because I deal with it all the time. You're tired, you're wore out. Oh, I need to be home here in a half an hour. That trap's set off. I'll deal with it later. It's just, you gotta push and push and push. Ottercat, you're not wrong. Ruben, opening day, I want 50%. I can't say I've ever hit that. I might have really early when I started road lining, but every day, if I catch 100 coon the first day, I'm expecting 60% of that the next day, unless I'm adding fresh steel. If I have the same line, if I go 100, I'm going to go to 60. So 60% of that, about 36. 60% of that, 20 to 22. Unless I'm adding fresh stuff because I'm a road trapper. Water, completely different. Water will produce more consistent than the dry land. Mike, I just want to beat my record. It's going to be tough since it's just going to be me and my little girl for basically out of the first 2 weeks, 10 days out of the season. I've got to get her to school. I've got to pick her up from school. I got to take care of everything here by myself, which will be tough. But, my wife does take care of a lot of stuff. She gets the kids to school because she goes opposite direction than me. The kids go to school where she works. So the kids go to school. She takes care of daycare, picks them up, groceries. And so for 10 days, I've got all the animal chores, plus getting my daughter back and forth. It'll be tough, but we'll figure it out. That's awesome, Flintlock. That's awesome. That's awesome, Chad. I'm glad you brought that up because I do believe in that. You know, I like you said, I fill my dog proofs all the way to the top with cat food, and it takes them a while to clean that out. Um, so generally, that cat food's still active for 3 or 4 days. Versus you fill it to the trigger and a mice finds you, he's cleaning you out in about 3 hours. He's done. Mike, personally, I could not do a partner. I was actually talking about this today with a couple guys. Um, that my partner could be a better trapper than me, could be more knowledgeable, but if he makes a set that's for us as a team, I would critique it too much. I would say no, it's not how I want it, and that's not the right way to be. Um, and I know that's probably one of my biggest flaws is if someone was trapping with me on my line, and it's not how I want it, I would have trouble sleeping at night. It may even be better than what I'm doing, but it bothered me. Plus, it's really hard to find anybody to trust enough to run a line with me. I'm in an area where there's not many trappers. There's a few, but none of them that I would trust, as a person basis. But on actually a road line, probably not. Well, next gen, she didn't take long, or your business didn't take long. Otter cat. Oh, way to fire in there, Otter. I love it. Yeah, Dan. Two of my competition hung it up. Basically, it was a 300 to 400 raccoon guy, and another guy that was about a 200 raccoon guy. They hung it up, and both of them are going to take me on their line, so that'll be huge. Michael Lee Atkins, how we doing, bud? Mike. Yeah, Mauler, and that's the thing. Like, I look at a trapping partner as moving in with a buddy. It's going to test your friendship, potentially ruin your friendship, and that's not worth it to me. I trap alone. I have several people that I've invited on my line to ride with me, to learn something, to teach me something, or just to ride along and have fun. And some of those people that, they're teaching me something or I'm teaching them something, they'll handle the traps. Get a license, hey, grab that raccoon out of that 220, and they'll help me in that sense. But I'll never rely on somebody else to do anything for me. And that's not just trapping, that's just how I am. Yeah, exactly, Ruben. Yeah, Chad, that's a good point. Skunk, you are so fat. You don't need any more food. You don't need any more. Yeah, eat my finger. Um, it's just, I don't know. I fly solo. It's just my personal preference. Um, it's kind of my personality, I guess. The best way to sum it up is I won't go into too much detail, even though I've been drinking, but I learned really early in life that the person that's going to take care of me is me. And she's a climber. But I rely on myself, and that's just kind of who I am. Um, I don't know. Very, very independent, I guess. To a fault, in a way. Next gen, we're going to wrestle. It's going to happen now. We got to do this. Smart ass. Exactly, Dan. It's something that doesn't work out. Mahler, was he? No, he's 19. He's still got some milk on his lips, I think. So. That's awesome, Michael. That's awesome. Hi, sweetheart. Ruben, that's a good example. That's a good example. Oh, Otter Cat. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm 34 now. I've been around the block a few times, but not as many as a few, but more than some. We're going up again. This is her time of night. All the way to the top, ring the bell, and you're down. Oh, next gen. We'll figure this out. We'll get this worked out. Thanks, Mahler. I appreciate it, buddy. Like I said, I just need 10 minutes to stretch and we'll be good. Timbo, how we doing, buddy? Eli's got 50 on me. Boy, I'm gonna have to really work on this now. No, it's all in fun. Hell, next gen, he's young and he's trapping hard, and I'm kind of actually jealous of him. He's a hell of a trapper, and he's learning a lot. And because of YouTube and the current people reaching out to help, they don't have quite the learning curve that my generation or the generation before did, which is awesome, and I'm happy for him. Therefore, I know he'll put up numbers of raccoons far quicker than I ever will, or ever did, because there's so much information out there. And I'm happy for him, and I hope other trappers are the same way, that they're able to take that learning curve out of it. I would say it's very possible. Like, I've learned a lot by watching her. I really have. And it wasn't even the intentions. But I have learned quite a bit. Yeah. And then that's the thing. Like, if you guys kind of learn trapping at the same level together, you get the same mindset. But just like anything else, if you learn differently, you're going to have different strategies, different ideas. Neither one of you's wrong, but it'll be different. And it'll be a struggle. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, I get that. Now, as next gen age, yeah, we kill 24 pack and pass out at 6 a.m., wake up at 8 a.m., down to 40, and start the day all over again. Be fine. Now, at 34, it hurts a lot more. It takes a lot more out of me. He'll learn that. She's a goer. She don't give up. She rang the bell, back down we go. And I think we got somebody outside the window wanting in. Which would be the cat. I don't know. Oh, I don't consider myself old by any means, Dan, but one thing I will talk just about life about When I was young, next gen age, even younger, I would do all kinds of stupid stuff. When I was roofing, I'd jump off the roof 10 foot down, tuck and roll. I was invincible. And I'll never forget my dad when he told me, "You're going to regret that when you're older." And I was like, no way. I'm invincible. I can do this my whole life. Now at 34, my knees are hurting. Even getting issues with my hips, my back. Probably because I was young and stupid and thought I was invincible. But we're all young and dumb and think we're invincible at one time. And we all regret it when we get older. It's just part of growing up. Like, yeah, 2-day hangovers are a real thing. I never thought that, but I got really, really tore up at my neighbor's house about 2 years ago. My wife never seen me like that. Like, couldn't walk, couldn't even get on my knees. I'd fall over. That type of bad. So, pretty rough. Pretty rough. But I suppose, guys, it's 11:30 here. Probably should wrap it up, but season's coming up, guys. Season's going to be here before we know it. I'm really looking forward to it. Got big plans. Big plans. It's got a 20 new miles yesterday, and it's literally 80% 220 locations. Should I just layer with 220s, or would you throw in TPs? Good question, next gen. As I talked about in the demo yesterday, which you're experienced enough, you know that just because it's legal for a 220 doesn't mean, oh, I'm 201 yards away from this house, I need a 220. You're experienced enough to know that play it smart. You know, if they have a dog running around, it's not worth it. But if it's truly 220 locations, I would set 220s. I only set dog proofs when I can't set a 220. Whether the terrain doesn't allow me to, or because of ethics of a dog close by or house close by. If I'm in an area where I feel comfortable setting 220s, I will set them every single time. Yep, Ruben, exactly. I did the same thing. And it'll catch up to you. Have your joints. Damn, that's awesome but terrible at the same time. Michael, I'm selling my skunk essence anywhere between $15 and $20 an ounce. The average skunk, I would say the average skunk, boy, that's hard to say. I've had an ounce and a half in one, but probably the common is 3/8 of an ounce, give or take. Normally 3 skunks you'll get close to an ounce, roughly. Hard to say though. I would do it next gen. I would do it in a heartbeat, buddy. As long as you feel safe about it, you know it's bird season too, so as long as you're not worried about bird hunters or anything else. Right, Utter. So this thing is just like a cat. A little bit of playtime, and we're done. Exhaustion. She's done. She's sleeping in the back, out cold, done. I love that thing. I love that dog. I think it's a pig. I know. Yeah, Boo, you should be fine. Buy more 220s. I'll talk to your mom for you. Take half the meds doctors want me to. I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, that's terrible, Ruben. Pretty much built for coyotes, by trap, coon, muskrat, beaver. but with more homework every year, it's harder for me to do that. So should I just quit being in what? A trapper that is. Eli, that's tough, buddy. My opinion, just my opinion, I love being a trapper of opportunity. I never want to just set dog proofs just to catch raccoons. That's why I love my 220s. I'm going to put more snares out this year, but my 220s are kind of my bread and butter for multi-species. I personally would not give up on that, but that's honestly up to you to decide what you want to do. I've been told by the top trappers in Iowa, if you want to trap numbers, you have to target with one set, one type of location, and catch just one species. I disagree with that. I catch a fair amount of raccoons, but I also am not using just one set for them. I want that off skunk, that fox, badger, hopefully coyote or weasel this year. Michael, you might be right. Dan, focus. You're in mature hardwoods. My advice to you, if you're in a really mature hardwoods, wait till late season. If you're in an area that has snow, you get snow on the ground, wait 2 days and go out there and look, especially if you get some warmer weather with snow sticking on the ground still. You're in that mid-30s. Go out there and look, and you'll see trails from raccoon going from dentry to dentry and set in them trails. Next gen, I'm married, so I would gladly take the mannequin. 100%. But does it look like your mom? I would. I really would trap everything. Don't get caught up on just one species. Hey, PA, how we doing, bud? We're just about out of here for the night. It's 11:45. We've been live for 3 hours. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. But it was a fun live. I really appreciate y'all sticking around and listening to me ramble. See, Dan, where I'm at, a deer feeder with like corn would do no good because you have hundreds of acres 20 yards away with with corn everywhere. It's so abundant up here in the Midwest. Still fishing, PA? That's awesome. Oh yeah, flintlock. They'll follow deer trails for sure. Um, what I like to look for, especially if you get some big hardwoods, if you do have a creek system running through it, check it out. Check it out. Next gen, I dehydrated some mushrooms for you. You have to swing by sometime, but I got them for you. Next gen, I'm so glad I met you, but you're so upset that you met me. But that's okay. But we're out of here, guys. I really appreciate the support. It's been awesome. Next gen, how many days we got left? I'm sure you got a countdown on your phone, but I'm using my phone, so I can't look it up. We got to be mid 60s, 65, 67. Too many. No, not too many. I got a lot of work to do yet. A lot of work to do yet. Flintlock, peace out, buddy. At the mouth of Mahoning and Alini now. I was never a good reader. This thing passes out like I'm about to. Hey, Chad, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Shoot me a message tomorrow about your buddy with muskrats. I might have something for him. 55 days till pre-staking, so we're 69 days. Ooh, I got 2 more days than I thought. Ah, PA. Okay, I gotcha. All right, guys. Thank you for everything. This channel's grown so much, and I'm very thankful for it. So, you guys take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week when we're about 60 days out. And then the weekend after that is Ellie Smith. You didn't have to do that. But thank you. Thank you so much. Season's coming up, guys, for all of us. I hope you all are ready. I hope you're getting your gear ready. I hope the temperatures cool down. I hope we get some water. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Ellie Smith Outdoors, thank you again. Definitely didn't have to do that. But next gen. Tell you what, you young pups think you know it all. I'm going to have to just whip up on you. It'll be a friendly fight. You know. I actually probably kick my ass, so probably won't do that. But you guys take care. Appreciate you all stopping in. Thank you. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll see some of you at the ITA. Is everybody in here planning on being at the ITA? I know next gen, he's limited to what he can do. Because, you know, he doesn't want to upset mommy and miss school for a day. But getting things ready. Ruben's getting things ready. I'm a long ways from it, but if I had to guess, I'm probably 10% ready at best, physically, as far as equipment and scouting and everything else. So that's oh, you can be mad at me all you want, buddy, but you know I'm messing with you. You're a good dude, and I appreciate you. All right. No. If you can't do it, I can call your mom and convince her to let you have 2 days off. How about that, next gen? All right. It's been fun, guys. It really has. Go out there, teach somebody about trapping, educate them, and just go out there and have fun. So, we'll see you guys later. Thank you, and we'll see you soon, guys. Take care.